Hey everyone, I am so excited to be with you all today to talk to you about something which is near and dear to my heart, your worth. My name is Diana Patton, and I help professional women overcome challenges, adversities, to use their voice and to use it to advocate mostly for themselves, but for others as well, to be bold and courageous and hopeful. Today, I want to talk to you about your worth. I want to talk to you about how you can stop tying your worth to your work. I want to be clear. Your work and your productivity, it's important. We need it to be successful. But what I don't want us to do is tie our work to our worth. And I want to spend a little time explaining why that's so very important. Because I believe we as professional women, I want to say this to the professional women out there that are specifically in my Women Who Rise and Advocate group, because you all do amazing work. I believe a lot of you already spend a significant amount of time helping women and helping nonprofits and the causes that you believe in soar. And you're doing an amazing job at that. But what I have found, especially in doing my own self work and in having conversations with other women, is we have come from a flawed foundation and we've tied our worthiness, our feeling good about ourselves, we've tied that to our work. And I want to explain by using my own self as an example. I have recently come through, and I'm continuing to come through, a year of challenge. I know a lot of us really got taken off of our general path through this 2020 year, through the 2020 pandemic, through the issues of the social unrest. And as a result of that, we didn't really have the normal things that we go out and do, so we had to get quiet. And a lot of us went into self-discovery. And for me, when George Floyd was murdered, I had a proverbial shade that went down. And it caused me to really think about myself and what I'm doing. And it has been my greatest growth yet. And I want to share with you that my work with my therapist, which is every single Tuesday at 5 p.m., she's been peeling back some layers for me. And I have discovered that my trauma when I was growing up, I grew up with a significant amount of trauma. The way that I was able to survive that trauma was to do work and to be productive and to consistently thrive and consistently go above and keep going and not stop. Because I realized when I did that, people were paying attention to me. My mom paid attention to me. Teachers paid attention to me. People paid attention to me. And so I thought in my subconscious mind, I tied productivity, performance to my own self-worth because that made me feel good. You see, no one was really just telling me, Diana, you are just amazing just for who you are. You don't even have to do anything. That's just how amazing you are. You are beautiful just because God made you. Not because of the makeup you have on or the way you wear your hair. You're just beautiful, just the way that you are. You see, those first 17 years of my life, I didn't have that firm foundation simply because of the trauma that I grew up with. And I had a father who was feeding my mind with things that weren't healthy and good. And I didn't realize, I kind of knew this, but now I really know that my self-worth was tied to productivity and performance. Even the good stuff, doing yoga, even waking up early, all of these things that are seen as good things, but they also can destroy me because I am tying them to my self-worth. I am tying them, oh gosh, well, I hope people like me. Oh gosh, am I going to get this? And I really think this is one of the most critical things that we need to examine in our lives. And I know for me, it's hard to figure out how am I going to know that I'm doing this simply because I want to just do good work and not have it tied to my worth. So you might be thinking the same thing. Well, okay, Diana, that sounds great, but how do I get out of that? How do I get out of that? Because it's applauded and it's awarded. You've based your entire income on this very thing alone, of productivity and performance. So I want to just clarify right away. Being productive, being successful according to a certain terminology, and having money and all those kinds of things is not bad. Again, if it's tied to your ability to believe that you are somebody, that you are worthy, that you are loved, that you get to be the person that you're, there's where the issue lies. So here's some steps that we can begin to implement so that we are not tying our self-worth, our worth, to our work. The first thing always starts with being aware. How self-aware are you? If you can't, and here's the thing, we all as human beings need to be acknowledged. We need to feel like we are seen and heard. Nothing wrong with that. Here's the key. I want all of us, when we're doing things, I want us to get into a state of self-awareness that we acknowledge that I am putting this post out here because I want validation. I am doing this because I need validation. So it's the difference between, am I doing it because I want validation? Am I doing this because I need validation? Right? And just by you becoming aware of that will get you to switch and realize, what do I need to do to find validation outside of this potential posting on social media or doing something which requires you to need that validation? Does that make sense? It's really just getting cognizant. It's getting knowledgeable of what's going on in my mind when I'm doing something, which is so critical. The second thing that I'm going to tell you to do is to remind yourself of who you are and whose you are. And some of you are like, I don't even know how to do that outside of my work. Well, it's getting back to understanding, who is Diana? Who is she? And for me, I am a child of God. I am made in the image of God. Therefore, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You're like, what is fearfully and wonderfully made? That means that God made me who I am. And because of who I am wonderful. I am also able to connect to God, who has thoughts that are beyond my thoughts. I also get to create the world that I live in because my thoughts are that powerful. And so I believe that I am God's child. And the more that I read, for me, the Bible, the more that I read scripture, the more whole I become. Not because of some award that I've received, not because of the 55 likes that on my video, not for anything, but because of the way that I was made in the image of God. And so for those of you who are struggling to try and figure that out, this is something that I believe that you've got to get quiet to start to understand who you are and to remind yourself whose you are. And so that is a very critical step in your desire to understand your worth. And you can start by writing down your values. Check in with your values. What do you value? What are the top 5 things that you value in your life? And when you start to do that, you'll start to understand your worth. What are mine? My first value is my faith. I am nothing without my faith. I have got to believe that I am that child of God and that I'm whole just because of that. number one. Number two, my value is my family. I believe that when I am surrounding my family and my friends who love me, I feel whole and I know that they love me too, right? Integrity is a big thing for me. The fact that I am being honest with myself, that's a big, big thing. And I believe some of my tension in the past was because I wasn't being honest with myself for what I was doing, that I was doing this for a show and not because I wanted to be excellent just because I wanted to be excellent. And so therefore my ego was kind of faltered. My ego was being, questioned. So integrity is a big thing for me, and accountability and my health and wellness. So those are my values. I really encourage you to take time to understand your top 5 values and see how you're living them out on a daily basis. So that's number 4. The last thing that I suggest is to commit to a daily practice of self-care and self-worth. What do I mean by that? Carving time out before, and you guys have followed me long enough, carving time out in those first minutes of the day, 20 minutes, an hour, if you can. Some of you are like, I don't have an hour before I get ready for work. 20 minutes before you get ready for work so that you can sit down with yourself, to understand yourself, to become self-aware, to breathe, to have silence, to meditate, to make certain that you are repeating scripture and your I am statements, your affirmations, and visualizing who you are outside of your work and understanding the visions that God has for you. So I just want to clarify, nothing wrong, because some of you might be getting hot and nervous and you may have turned off the video. Nothing wrong with being productive and to have performance and to be a very successful person according to a certain standard. But if you didn't have any of those things, would you still love who you are? Would you be okay with being the person that God's created you to be? And that is the message that I want to share with you. This is your lifetime work. This is our mission, is to understand who we are at the core so that we can give this gift to someone else. How does that sound? I hope this has been valuable to you. And if it has been valuable to you, I would hope that you would join, and I'm going to put this in our notes to join my private Facebook group. And I'm going to put it here. It's called Women Who Rise and Advocate. This is a private group that I have created that has some amazing women in it that you can join as well. And I would hope that you would join us. You can follow me also by going to risewithdiana.com, risewithdiana.com. You can follow me on Instagram under Diana Patton. And lastly, I'm going to close the video with you being able to, and I'm going to pull this up. You're like, why didn't you prepare this before? Well, I didn't. But I want to actually give you the phone number. If you want to sign up for every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m., I want to put this number here so you can write this number down. It's 567-229-4063. And what you're going to do is you're going to send a text message to 567-229-4063 with hashtag DP Inspires. And you're going to get a text message every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. for you to be able to be inspired, encouraged, and to do the work of establishing a daily practice, checking in with your values, reminding yourself of who you are and whose you are, and becoming more self-aware. Sound like a plan? Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to talking to you on our next episode. Take care and have a wonderful day.